All right. I know we got some girls who still work, Taylor. And y'all, I'm not talking today. I'm going to let Taylor do all the stuff, which is funny because years ago, Taylor, right after she earned her pink Cadillac, Taylor got on and did a call for us, which I think is so funny because when I actually met her over the weekend at Jamie Taylor's debut, which is honestly, Taylor, probably the whole reason that I was there, which is so random, is for us to connect because I think it was been so awesome. But Taylor did a call for me, and I didn't even realize that until we were back together again. I don't know, but I think you've done a call for me before because I think Jennifer connected us. But Taylor McKnight started her business in March of 2017 while she was working full-time as a director for a nonprofit. She has been a customer for a year and had every intention of getting her microdermabrasion half off. She quickly learned how easy it was to be recognized, rewarded, and achieve in Mary Kay. So that vision changed quickly. In her first month, she went on target for a car, into DIQ the next month, finished her first car, the Chevy Cruze, the third month, and directorship in month 4. Her unit wrapped up Premier Club and earned the Equinox 1 month after becoming a unit and 6 months from her start date. 1 year to the date she signed her agreement, she earned her first pink Cadillac. In her first year as a director, her unit wrapped up 500,000 retail sales. In obedience to God, Taylor took the cash compensation for 500,000 and instead of the ring and donated it to build a home in Nicaragua. She achieved all the new director challenges. She is a triple crown achiever and debuted number 1 in her debuting class out of all 4 seminars. You're such a rock star, Tay. She earned her spot on the Dean's List. She was her area's Miss Go Give in 2019, Rookie of the Year, and first year director. Her unit wrapped up 450 in 2019, 550 in 2020, and 500,000 this year. She's completed the National Court of Sales twice and double star once. She finished the National Court of Shearing once and triple star once as well. Her unit is currently a pink Cadillac Plus unit and her highest check in 1 month. Are y'all ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? $18,600. That is so freaking awesome. She's currently remodeling her entire house that she just purchased with Mary Kay money. Her biggest gain, however, from the Mary Kay life is a personal relationship with Jesus. Y'all, she is a new believer. Taylor is most excited about raising up leaders this year to finish her Legends National area. All right, y'all all smile. I'm taking your picture. Please welcome future National Sales Director, Taylor McKnight. Yay!
I love Holly. Holly just brings energy where there is no energy. She creates energy out of nowhere. It's like she goes against like all laws of science. It's so great. Okay, so I want you listen.
I received that. I do go against all laws of science. I received that. That's a big compliment, Taylor.
I'm good at complimenting you. We've discovered this. So here's the deal. Is Holly gave me permission to like wake, pray, and speak, which I love to do. Like if I have a training style, it's that. Okay. But I kind of want to know where you guys are at. Like, are you a new director within the last year? Are you a senior and you just offsprung? Like, how would you describe where you're at in your business right now? Like seasoned veteran, you know what I mean? Like, where would you describe it? Go ahead and drop it in the chat so then I can see it. So then I can speak a little bit more clearly to you guys, because I want to make sure that this is value added. If you're going to take the time to be here and to hear me, you're going to gain something. That's the goal. And so quick synopsis for you guys of what you guys are. New sales director, less than a year, 5-year director working on First Caddy Unit Club. Okay. Awesome. 18 years, senior sales director. Amazing. 17 years, future exec. Okay. Last year is my first year. We triple star, working on triple again. Amazing. Yes. 4 years, second time director, working on car again. Okay. I'm liking you guys, these short descriptions. They're very.
They know how I.
nearly 5-year director. Okay.
Taylor, they know who I am. I'm like, short and sweet, y'all. Short and sweet, short and sweet. I'm your Cliff Notes friend. Please give me the Cliff Notes.
I cannot do these long things. 4-year director. Keep it dropping in the chat, guys. If you have not answered, I'm going to make you. So, sorry. Make sure you do it and get it done quickly. 4-year director, pushing Cadillac by June 30th. Okay. Nikki, you also were up here last year was your first skin. Okay. You're new, but you did triple star last year, working on it again, pushing for Cadillac. Okay. Great. I was like, I'm connecting things as you guys are like saying things in. Okay. So, yeah, you guys got to hear my accolades. You guys got to hear all the background information on me. But I want to talk to you guys about, oh gosh, I want to start talking to you guys about this Final Four and this mindset. So I don't know if you guys, how this past quarter has treated you. This past quarter has been my lowest quarter this seminar year, which isn't normal for, my lowest isn't normally January, February, right? Like, and I'm very much an evidence-based person. My dog is yelling at me. I'm not even kidding. If you hear him, just ignore him. But January, February, and I have learned in the past that I'm an evidence-based person. Like, based on what I did last month, I kind of can gauge based on my effort what I could do the next month. And is anybody else like that, where you're like, there's no way I can jump from this number to this number. There's no way I can go from here to here, right? Okay. So I want to tell you guys about 2 years ago, me and my girls had massive growth. Okay. So I have known that I wanted to be a national sales director since I became a senior. Okay. And I became a senior my first year in February. So I joined in March, became a senior in February, and have known since then that national is the only thing that I want. I don't get excited about the trips. I don't get excited about literally anything except national. Do you know how difficult it is to have a goal that's that far out? That he's like, yes, I do. That it's like this at all times. Like, you know what I mean? Like, at least your seminar year goal, like, you know that it's going to be done within the year. Like, you know that at the end of the year, you're either going to know or you're not going to know. That's not how national works, like, at all. And I'm such an evidence-based person. However, I want to tell you the story of the time that didn't apply. Okay. So at the time, I'm trying to remember what we had. At that time, I was in a Cadillac. None of my girls were in Cadillacs. None of them were in Premier. I had 2 in a career car, and I had 1 that had beasted herself to Cadillac. Okay. Like, just like done it. Okay. And honestly, there was just, but like past that point, she was like kind of in and out, you know what I mean? So it wasn't looking great. My like vision of national, not looking hot. But January 1 of that year, I started getting phone calls from this girl named Brooke Racer. And Brooke was in my second line. And she was calling me because she realized I had a conversation with her, and she was hit, miss, right? And I had a conversation with her, and I was like, Brooke. She kept coming to me with ideas. She kept being like, what about this? What if I did this? Do you think that would be a good idea? Well, what about this? Do you think that would be a good idea? And I literally looked at her one day, because I just kept saying, yes, it's a great idea, because they were great ideas. And I said, Brooke, if you would just take the idea that you have and actually go execute it, it would work. I said, but what's missing is that you're talking about it and you're not doing anything about it. So I said, your people are only as good as you set the bar for them. They're only as good as you set the bar for them. And so my personal work wasn't always out of like this discipline to be like, I have to see 30 faces. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, I have to do it, because if I'm not, my people will not. That's just how this works. And so Brooke started calling me on her way to nursing school. She was 20 years old. She had 2 kids. She's a teen mom. And she would call me at 6:45 every morning, and I would answer. Okay. She literally got me out of a slump and out of bed, because I was at a point where I had a really tough year the year before. And she literally started calling me. She was like, hi, calling you. This is my Monday morning, Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, Friday morning accountability. I'm just calling just to check in, get in your space. That's what I'm doing. It's me. I'm showing up. This is me showing up. And I'm like, okay. So she starts talking to me about her activity and that she's going to take that for real this time, that she's going to take those ideas and start doing them and seeing what can come from it. Okay. So she starts doing some activity, and she starts with a power start, guys. She starts with a power start. She starts, and she had in January, I think they had a $6,000 month. Okay. In February, the momentum built. Okay. Brooke is an excellent team builder. She is not friendly. Like, I'm going to be really honest. Brooke isn't friendly. Holly is married to an 8. Brooke is an 8. Through and through a challenger. The way she shares the opportunity, 50% discount, 50% profit. You might suck, you might be great. What do you think? Okay. Okay. It's Brooke's energy. Okay. I'm just letting you know. So when I'm telling you, like, when you hear this story, I need you to know, like, if Brooke were on here, she'd be like, you're right, I'm not. You're right, I'm not, right? Okay, but this is what I'm saying, is regardless of your personality style, Brooke showing up in her energy is what attracts people. Like, you have to show up as you in your energy and not trying to be or duplicate somebody else. When Brooke tried to share like I shared, it doesn't work. So Brooke coming in and being like, you know, because Brooke is energy. It's not like she's just mean and people like are scared. They're not. She's just direct. And so when she's like, listen, it's $30, 50%. Like that, what, it's not complicated. She took the guesswork out of it for people. And she's just so straightforward. And that's her DNA. And so she stayed in that, and it attracts people to her. It's just what happens. So lesson one, if you're trying to be somebody you ain't, stop. Go be in your strength zone and live there. Okay. So Brooke inspires me. We're doing okay. We're having a pretty decent year. COVID hits. Does COVID hit? Yeah, COVID hits during this time period. So literally COVID hits. My years are blurring together. But I'd had like a randomly like $20,000 month. Randomly, just like a $20,000 month. Which was not unusual for me. We could like skate into one of those months. You know, about March is when we could kind of hit that. And Brooke started coming to me with numbers. She went from like 5,500, 6,000 to 10,000 and kept growing. I'll tell you where she ended up. What happened though is because Brooke showed up differently with her energy. It was contagious. She literally said, Taylor, you did a $20,000 a month. And I know to hit your goal this year, like you're going to have to do like a $40,000 a month next month. But like, let's be honest. Did you actually try? And I was like, oh, no, but how dare you? You know what I mean? Like, no, I didn't. She's like, right. So imagine what you could do if you tried. And I'm like, you're right. Well, imagine what I could do if I tried. So she spurs me on. We sit there, and Brooke did her growth in such a simple way. I'm literally going to sit down with her later today and do this again for my unit. I'm so excited. It's called People and Numbers. Okay. And she people and numbered her unit based on who was going to do a 600 if she didn't have to like drag them. Okay. This is not dragging them energy. This is who will do a 600 if I just encourage them with text. That's what we're talking here. We're not talking like you're in the car helping them get to power up. Okay. That's not it. Who will do 600? Who will do 225? If you message them, who would do 225? Okay. And I'm not saying, hey girl, like do this for me. Not that energy. Like, hey, what do you want for your business this month? Can you at least get a 225? You know what I mean? Like, can we at least hit there? So she went to those. Then she went to her STAR tracking reports, Great Start qualified reports, and looked for production. She literally looked for opportunities to give people a higher number or an incentive to do the number that she was asking them to do. So basically, like if Susan had 200, I have her down for 225, but she is 300 away from a free bonus bundle. I'm going to coach her to 300. And she now has a why behind it. Not just because I want it for her, but because she gets free product at 300. Do you see what I mean? So she looks for it there. She looks at the STAR reports and says, hey, you need this much more to be on target for STAR. And on target for star for newer directors is, 600 every 3 months. So basically, if they're behind, hey, you only need, 650 or 700 to stay on target for star. And that will help them piece it out. But she just looked for opportunities there. Okay. Then after she looked for all those opportunities, she said, okay, who could add one team member? Who wants to add one team member? Everybody can get one. I'm a firm believer that everybody can be a senior. Everybody got a friend. Mary Kay believes that there's 3 for her. That's why we have besties coupons. Okay. But I believe they can at least get one team member and actually promote to a senior, not one team member who never does anything. Okay. I believe they can actually become a senior, everybody. Then from there, so I would go through on my list and I would be like, okay, Brooke is going to add one team member. And I put new team member, 225. I'm not gauging anything other than active. I can get Brooke to senior. That's my only promise. What's it take to get her to senior? A 225 order. Okay. We are miniming everything. We're not even like shooting for stars here. We are just looking at what we have rather than what we don't have to work with. Okay. So then she goes through and she's like, oh, well, this person's one away from red. She goes to her at a glance and looks at her unit structure and says, who's a senior, who's active, who went inactive, who could, you know what I mean? She looks for opportunities of who could reestablish a red, reestablish a senior. Do you see what I mean? She looks there. All right. And then she goes, okay, that's the unit. And those are the people that I'm going to promote to bring in new. And she said, so then she goes through and she's like, okay, Brooke has one, Sharon has one. And she's like, how many new agreements is that? And so then she adds them up. She's like, wow, that's like 6 new agreements right there. There's like 5 new agreements right there. There's, you know what I mean? Like she adds them up. Because sometimes when they're like, go get 10 agreements, you're like, where are they going to come from? And it shuts you down because if you're in a season where it's kind of lower for you, you're like, there is no flipping way I'm getting 10 agreements because it's going to have to be me out there getting all 10. You know what I mean? And then what happens is you go to the next month and if somebody said, okay, get it 2 months in a row, you're thinking I'm doing it all by myself for 2 months in a row. And that's just not right. It's just not correct. Because if you add 10 new, those 10 should be moving up within the next month. Some of them should be moving up within the next month. So that next 10 should be getting easier. You should only have one hard month. You should not allow yourself to stay in a hard spot more than the month that it's going to take you to get out of it. It's miserable. Like, don't do that.
Say that again.
Okay,
you should not stay in a hard spot more than 1 month. Say that again.
Yeah. Don't allow yourself to stay in a hard spot more than 1 month, more than the month it's going to take you to get out of it. Let it be 1 month that's hard. But what happens is what we want to do is we want to drag it out and then process and be like, why is it like this? Why am I like this? Am I a bad leader? And then we internalize it and it turns from a rut to a grave. And we don't need to we don't need that. We don't need that energy, especially it's March. We don't need it in March. No, we don't need it anytime, but definitely not right now. Okay. So if March needs to be your hard month, let March be your hard month. And what a terrible hard month to have, double credit and all. That's I'm sad for you. I'm so sad that this is your hard month. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
that's so funny.
Poor thing. Okay. So like, if this is going to be your hard month, what a great month to be your hard month. What a great month. It's going to count double and your one hard month won't be so hard next month and you can make up whatever you need to make up. Okay. So then Brooke goes, but what am I accountable to? What am I bringing to the table? Right? So she wanted to move up career cars. Brooke had no car. She was a Make Miss director. Brooke goes, okay, I am personally committed to, and here's how she figured out what she was personally committed to. National Court of Sales, National Court of Sharing, tracking. I have 4 months left of the seminar year. My goal divided by 4 is, and that's what she brought to the table. Because if they're going to let you do 13,000 retail in a month, then there's a reason for that. So you can make it up, right? So we know this month is a double credit month. So you want to factor that in to your calculations and divide by 4. Because how many of you in your unit would love to have somebody that does national port of sales every year? It's 40,000 retail, right? How many of you guys would love to have somebody who is committed to the bee? That means an offspring. She don't know that that's an offspring, but that's an offspring, right? If you don't do it, they won't. Why would they if you won't? Right? Like, it seems logical to me. I'm not going to do it if she hasn't done it. I have to use other people as evidence. Like, when I was moving up, I watched what my director did, and then I did that to get where she was. Thank God the director at the time was Jamie Taylor. You know what I mean? I mean, really, thank you for being my director, who literally was so good at communication, encouragement, things that like aren't even in my strength zone. Some of those that wouldn't naturally been in my strength zone, but they were modeled for me. Thank goodness that she brought in people who were bigger thinkers. Like, I watched Megan Wilkes outperform Jamie all the time. Thank God. You know what I mean? Thank God that she had somebody like that. And Chelsea Claytor in those seasons. Thank God that she recruited and brought these women up and then poured belief into them that they even surpassed her. It's rare for you to surpass the person ahead of you. I mean, truly, it's rare. It's a really big deal that if you do that. Okay. It's not impossible, and it should be the norm, but we tend to follow in the footsteps of the person ahead of us. It's just what we do. You probably use the same cleaning supplies that your mom put in your house. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain things that you just probably
so
do
good.
That's
so good.
So it's like, you know, people are like, oh yeah, I know that I'm going to get this girl to buy Mary Kay. She's like, my mom and my grandma use Mary Kay. Oh, honey, you're about to use it too. Like, because people trust what their leaders or their parents or whoever tell them, right? That's why it's so hard to break out of your socioeconomic status, right? It takes a major mind shift to get out of there. And so basically Brooke looked at what she was committed to doing, and she was looking at, okay, if I need that many qualified for the National Court of Sales, she would put down, okay, like maybe I need four per month personal. She's like, okay, 4 per month personal. That's not so difficult or unrealistic now that we have Great Start Qualified. Now, the old way where it was just like one and done, baby, you ain't got no options. You could add people this month, and they have till the end of June to get qualified. So, like, what a good month for it to be your hard month. Okay, what a good month for it to be your hard month. Okay, so then she was like, okay, I'm working on a car. So then I've got 600 because I know that I'm bringing them in qualified. Okay, I'm committed. I'm not interested. I'm committed. Okay, so I have 600. She's like bringing in 4. Okay, so she's like, out of my 4. So she's like, I'm gonna need more agreements than those 4 because that ain't gonna happen. So she literally was like, okay, out of that, she goes, I think I could get 4 of my 6. That was Brooke's confidence level. She can bring in qualified team members. That's what she does. Okay, so she was like, I'm going to personally add 6, but 4 of them are going to be qualified. So I'm going to say 6 agreements, but 4 qualified. So you don't get any points for agreements, but you do get 600 per the qualified, plus 600 extra car credit, right? So then she puts in the 600 extra car credit as well beside of it because she's tracking her car. And then she goes to her sales, and she's like, okay, I'm committed to bringing in this month 2,000. If 2,000 is not on your radar that you're doing personally, I want you to check yourself. Even if you're not a good seller, I don't care. Do you want people in your unit maxing it out? You have to. I know that they can't see your numbers, but they know the energy. They feel it. They're not stupid. So 2,000 wholesale personally, that's almost half minimum production right there. And you get paid 23% on it. Come on. When you hit 5,500, you get paid 23% on your own order. Like, what a great time. And then that's going to count 8,000 retail towards your cords, but also towards your unit circles. Nice. And when you get to unit circle, you get $1,000 for that, you know? You get $1,000. You get $1,000 for the Cadillac. You get $1,000 for that. You get money. Okay, let's talk Triple Star for a second. You get money. You get a Diamond Bumblebee. you get some type of ring. Okay. You can choose cash. I mean, if you want, but I like the jewelry. So you get those. If you do double star, you get money for doing both. Oh yeah. So you got the bumblebee, you've got the Court of Sales ring. Okay. Then if you do a unit club, you get the necklace. And then you get you get more money for that. Yeah. Double star achievers get a little bonus and triple star achievers get a bonus plus all the prizes. You mean because I made money, right? It's not like 24 qualified didn't make me a whole lot of money. I just need to paint this picture about qualified. Okay, of the 600, if you have 5 people in your unit, 5 people on your personal team doing a 225, and you do your power up at 600, you're going to pay 13% on your personal team as a director. Okay, then because they're in your unit, if you hit 5,500, you get 23% on your unit. So 23 plus the 13 is 36% on your personal team. Plus a $100 bonus because they were personal. If you have 4 of them in your unit, say you had 4 unit qualified, and one of them is personal, you're going to get $100 in the unit development and $100 in the personal team building bonus. If you had 4 qualified, so on Brooke's math here, that she's going to be committed to 4 qualifieds, she is going to get $400 in the unit development. She's going to get $100 in personal team building. I need to do this math real fast. Hold on. So of the 4 qualified, it's 2,400. 2,400. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. So of the 4 qualified by itself, because you earned your power up, because you had 5 people doing 225. If you have 4 qualified and you can't find one more person to do 225, it's just not possible. It's just not possible. Okay. I promise you, it's just not possible. She's going to get 4 $100 bonuses, a $400 unit development bonus, and she's going to get $864 of the 2,400 that's going in commission. Okay. Plus that 800 of 2,400 going in the system on your paycheck, it's going to be $1,664 just on those 4 women. Plus 2,400 in car credit towards your car. They give you invisible money. Like, use the invisible money to your advantage, right? They don't cap you on it. They're not like, well, you can only do this many. No. Okay. Yeah. Nikki, do the 4. She's in my brain hurts. Just do the 4 qualified. Of the 4 qualified, when they put 2,400 in the system, you are going to get back $1,600 of that, plus $2,400 towards your car. On top of the other $2,400 that's actually in the system. So $4,800 towards a car from 4 people. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Okay. So that's why I'm like, okay, I don't care if you got 1. I don't care if you got 1 qualified for the year. Guess what? What a terrible time for this to be your double credit month. Okay. So then, when she looked at it and what she was committed to bringing in, it was about $10,000 of damage towards her car by herself, which is personal responsibility and accountability. And it wasn't hard stuff. It was a little stretchy, like it made you stretch, but it wasn't hard, you know? So, because hard, there's a lot of things that are hard. 4 qualified isn't hard. Not having food's hard. You know what I mean? Like, 4 qualified is not hard. There's different levels of hard. Yes, it's going to require you to stretch, but it's not. Stop telling yourself that it's hard. It's not hard. You just haven't done it recently, or you may not have done it yet, but it doesn't mean you're not about to do it, right? Okay, so then she added up all of that, what she's willing to do, what people are willing to do, the new people that she's counting in, and added it up. And I'm not kidding. The like at least Cadillac numbers. At least Cadillac numbers. I guarantee, I don't care how little baby your unit is. I guarantee that there's a Cadillac unit in there. I guarantee it. And that it's just missing the people, because you need the people to make it happen. And, you know, some people won't do, they won't do what you have kind of designed out for them. And you have to like coach them. You have to be like, hey, what do you think of one team member this month? Let's find her, you know, you've got to like prompt them. But maybe some people don't do what they said they're going to do, but you're going to have surprises of people who step up and do more than you thought they would. Right. And so on my people numbers plan, I would go throughout the month and be like, okay, I don't know what to do. I'm panicking. Like, what do I do right now? I'm like, go back to my list that I made at the beginning of the month when my vision was clear. Who do I need to talk to? Who do I need to check in with? And it would put me right back on track. So it made my month super productive because I had a list of what I wanted to execute already when my vision was clear, not in the middle of the month where I'm hazy, right? Where my belief was high, where I'm like, this month, it's going to be my month. You know what I mean? That energy, you're going to go through it. So Brooke, right? Brooke spurred on a huge movement. Brooke went from a Make Miss director to a Cadillac Plus with 53,000 wholesale excess in 6 months. Cadillac Plus is 120,000. She did 173,000 wholesale and ended up at a unit club of 350,000. Not just that. That's not just what happened with Brooke. I ended up in Cadillac Plus. Finished it early. Brooke finished hers early. Brooke had a 60,000 wholesale month in June. Insane. Was she planning 60,000 wholesale month? No, Brooke doesn't plan. She people in numbers and then like magic happened. She was so sold out to growth that it didn't matter where she ended up. Didn't matter. It was better than where she was at. She ended up with 2 offspring directors in that 6 months. She ended up having this wave occur because of her. And underneath me now exists because Brooke decided to show up differently, truly. Because she spurred me on. And then when I showed up differently, a rising tide lifts all ships. Jamie Taylor tells me this. A rising tide lifts all ships. So if you raise your level, it's going to affect every director in here. Every director in here will be affected. That means unit members are affected. That means everything shifts and changes because one girl decided to do it. I mean, you have to remember, one girl decided that a unit was going to exist, and now there's a director. Now you're a director because you decided that a unit was going to exist. Imagine what happens if you decided something else, right? So then underneath me now, I have 4 first line and 4 second line. Okay. I have, hold on. I have to go in order. Carrie in Cadillac, Sabra in Cadillac, Brooke in Cadillac. Stacy just became a new director. I have Darian, second line in Cadillac. Mel Stratton, Brooke's offspring in Equinox. Sabra's offspring, Leanna, in Equinox. And Sabra just had a new offspring, Alexis, who will be finishing Equinox this month.
Hey, Taylor, we lost your audio. We can't hear you now. There you are. There you are.
How about now?
Yep.
The devil did not want you to hear that. Anyway, we have, where we go? We have, where were we at?
You just said, you were saying she was in Equinox. You have 7 of your cars done for National.
I have 6 of them. 7 will be done the end of this month. Alexis is pushing for Equinox at the end of this month, and she just became a director 2 months ago. So all seniors are done, sitting real pretty. Did we have the seniors done when 2 years ago? No. Did it look anything like it does now? No. Was I like I am now? No, I wasn't in this belief energy that massive growth could happen. But thank God for Brooke. Thank God that Brooke showed up and started to execute, and it became contagious. Because if Brooke could go from 5,500 to 10,000, then what could I do? If Brooke could go from 10,000 to Cadillac month, what could I do? right? It allowed me to reflect and not use it as, well, that's great for Brooke and this is shutting me down, right? It use it as, if she can, I can. And that's the best gift you can give yourself, is that belief. If she can, I can. If she did it, then I can. Now, not in her style, and you should not ask her what she was specifically doing, right? Maybe you should not go out and share like Brooke, 50%, 50% profit, 50% discount. You might suck, you might be great. Not your DNA, right? But going out in your what that showed me was, regardless what Brooke was doing, it didn't matter, because she was authentically showing up in belief and believing in herself. That's what that was. That's all that was. Like, I told you like how she broke that down, because I knew y'all were going to ask me. But she broke it down to 600 and 225s. She didn't know how to do a next steps properly. Like, she didn't know how to talk to people about bringing in inventory. She kept having these high school girls sell, because Brooke was 20. She was a teen mother. She had these young girls who she was like, you can sell a bunch of mascaras. You want to do that? But I'm not kidding. It didn't look fancy. It wasn't fancy. It wasn't this huge strategy. She didn't have it. She just knew that she was willing to show up, see the faces, work, and go from there. And it created this massive movement. So the game plan, Brooke's coming back into that energy, and I'm really excited. She ended up having, her husband had to go to a training camp during her massive growth. She was in nursing school and graduated during that time. But she ended up having a really, really tough pregnancy, all these things. So a baby was produced from that, from all that, you know? And so Brooke's getting to be medicated today or tomorrow, and we're very excited for her because she's not breastfeeding anymore. So we're excited to have big Brooke energy back, because that's what we call it. Because, you know, she is such a energy bringer. And so excited for her. But we've had growth since then. We've had definitely amazing things happen from that shift, because once we saw it happen, nobody could deny that it was real, right? So now our belief's bigger. We have directors going for triple star, that's like the standard. And you know what I mean? Like, it's just bigger thinking. And so if you don't have bigger thinking right now, I want to challenge you to make this your hard month. I want to challenge you for this to be bigger and better than it's ever been for you. This month, I'm doing two things. I want to tell you guys what we're doing, because I don't know, a confused mind does nothing, right? And have any of you guys been confused of, do I work virtual? Do I work in person? What do I do? How do I do this? Right? How do I balance both? Okay, so I'm doing both, but I have to run with two different promotions, because I can't run with one virtual and one in person and do the same thing. It just doesn't make sense to me why I wouldn't just see them in person if I could see them in person, right? So anybody that's close by, I'm doing, I got it off Pink Bubble. Guys, it's not anything fancy. Actually, I read on the back of it. It's 100 women, 100 professions. And I'm doing a little cute portfolio, and they're giving me referrals, name, phone number, and what her profession is. Because we're in the Great Resignation. How many people hate their job? And how great would it be to connect with women and talk about their job and talk about work and talk about Mary Kay and what I do, right? Easy share. So easy, okay? But I just, I got it off Pink Bubble. It's nothing fancy. It's literally, it asks them what they do and why they like it. You take a before and after. But women are all about it. They're like, oh, I am I used to work in marketing and now I do this. Like, you know what I mean? People like to talk about themselves. So it gives them an opportunity to do that. And then virtually, I am doing packets, because the relationship is everything. Facebook parties are driving me nuts. I'm over them personally. If they're working for you, great. But I know that it's getting harder because people are tuning it out more, right? And so it's easier for me to get people's attention right now through, I'm doing a nationally certified certification. So you know how people are doing Miss Mary Kay USA? I can't do that. It's not my DNA. I can't be like, I'm running through a beauty pageant. No, I'm not. I like my sweatpants and I like Mountain Dew and I like Cheetos. Okay. No, I'm not. Okay. I'm not. I am, however, trying to get nationally certified. So what that looks like is I need women from each state, and I need to get I need to send you a pampering packet, and could you get people that you know from other states on there with you, and then getting them to book for their state. So basically, I'll take you on an adventure to get my packet. Because y'all gonna ask, because I already know. Okay, this is what it looks like. It cost me $2.70 to send out, including postage, samples, everything. Okay. I got these Relax big things from Court of Achievers because it holds my package up, and I write them a little note because a handwritten note gets their attention. And it says, hey, thanks so much for doing this. Don't do anything in the packet till we can connect. Love you, Taylor. Okay. Because they'll read that and they'll pay attention because it's a handwritten note. They look for handwriting, right? And in my little packet, I put a beauty book because somebody told me to, and that sounded like a good idea and it looked nice. So I put a beauty book in there. Okay. And it, they can look through. I put the Time-Wise sample in there, or repair, clear proof, and then a little sheet that says share the love. And my dog, stop it. Basically, it is based off the new sharing notebook. I can share that with you, Holly. And it says something you learned. How's your face feel? Biggest change in your skin? What set do you love the most? Right. And then the share the love of who could use extra pampering and referrals. And then they can send you a picture of this, snap a picture of it, and send it to you to be entered to win whatever your prize is for the month. But this is a good way to train your people on how to do the activity and work full circle, because if they're not getting this filled out with like a rating and everything, then they're not sharing, right? It's going to make your job easier to coach them and be like, okay, what's that block? Or like, whatever. But basically the new sharing sheet is super amazing, and it does work. It flipping works. It's easy for my consultants, but the number one on here says fits ... and they fill in your life. So I know that they're going through this with them, and they would hold it up and they would talk about it, and they'd be like, these are our starter kit options, and they would show them, and they'd hold it up to the camera, right? Super easy to share the opportunity with what the company is put out for us, and they spend a lot of money getting the right words. And then that's what I do from there. And to pre-profile them, I have them go on the Mary Kay Skin Analyzer app and take a picture of their face and text me their results, so then I can get them the right skincare. But then we all know that women love to know about themselves, right? We know this. We know that you take the test that says, which Disney princess are you? You don't post it, but you take it. Okay. Like, I know you don't share it, but I know you want to know which one you are, or if you were a color, right? Or which animal am I, right? Okay. You take those tests because you want to know. Just like the Skin Analyzer app, I want to know what it says about my skin. What's it say about me, right? Oh, I've got wrinkles there? What's that? What does it want from me? So then I send her this beauty book, and she's flipping through, and she's like, well, it said that for me. Do you see what I mean? Curiosity will get her every time. But it's a layering tool for you, for when you go into your session with her, for her to go, okay, this app and this girl says I need it. You know what I mean? Not just like, this girl says I need it. I'm sorry, he's growling at me for food. I don't know if you can hear him, but we can. That is 100% what I do. And then they like it because, sorry, I'm getting dog food. This is my life. If it wasn't Holly, I'd be like mortified, but thank God it's Holly, and she loves me anyway. Anyway, I'm like, he will not stop. Okay. Dog fed. Eat the food. Thank you. Anyway, so that is what I'm doing there. You have to get a postage stamp that is non-machinable stamp. They're like 85 cents. So because the machine will run through this, and a normal stamp, you can only do up to 1 ounce packaging. Non-machine stamp, you can do up to 3 ounces. So like these mail just fine. And the reason I got this card from Court of Achievers is because it holds the package up and makes it sturdy. So when it gets to them, I was big about it arriving nice, because if this is my only impression with them, I want it to be nice. I've gotten compliments on how cute the package is, all of that. And then I got these bubble mailers from Lasting Impressions, 100 for $14 or something. They self-seal, close them, and then I put like a printer label, one of the 4x6 ones on here, and hand write her name, address, my return address, and put the stamp on it. Nothing crazy. But if you're not comfortable getting in person, or if you still want to work virtually, it's a good way to develop the relationship further than just, hey, look at these posts on Facebook. It's a way for them to try the product in a professional way, and then get referrals and have something to be working towards that leads you to more women that gives them a reason to give you names to grow your business. So, okay, I'm done now, but.
Okay. So I'm going to let y'all share your takeaways. I literally have so many notes. Oh my gosh, Taylor. Okay, hang on. Look all these notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pages of notes. Thank you, Taylor, for sharing. You are so awesome. I feel so energized, like, whoa, after being on today. Do y'all feel like that? Like, I'm so excited. All right, I'm going to start with Erica. Erica, go ahead and share your takeaway. Let's affirm Taylor of what you're taking away today.
Thank you, Taylor, just for bringing the energy. Because I woke up this morning was just kind of like, oh, I'm tired. How am I going to get through the rest of March? And so you're right. Like, your energy sparks somebody else's. So thank you so much for bringing that to us today. And I just love just mapping out the people in numbers. You made it sound so easy. Like, who can't do Unit Club and Cadillacs? And like, what are we doing? So thank you for just dumbing it down for us.
Yes. So good. All right, Nikki, and then Julie, and then Emery.
Okay, so she's going to be clapping these pins together, so just bear with me. But I really, really love, I love your little facial pack. That is so stinking cute, and it's cheaper than what I've been mailing. I use the poly mailers for the global stamps, which is $1.20. You're doing 85 cents. I'm about to cut some costs, so I'm real excited about that. I also love that you kind of reaffirmed what I did this month. Holly shared with me how I could do 20,000. It made me want to throw up a little bit, but you reaffirmed the 225 and the 600s, looking at stars, looking at Great Start, and then filling in the blanks. And so that was so good. So thank you for sharing her story about, I wrote it down, people and numbers, and then let the magic happen. That's so good. Thank you.
Okay, Julie, then Emery, then Tish.
Ditto, but I even like ripped out the highlighter to when you said this, like highlighted across the board, that you said Brooke was so sold out to growth, it didn't matter where she ended. That spoke huge volumes that her focus was the growth, not the end game prize, not the end part of it all. So that was fabulous. So thank you.
Thank you, Taylor. I love don't let yourself stay in more than the hard month.
Okay, Tish, Lindsay, Crystal, Lisa.
Thanks, Taylor, for being on. Yes, I love that too, like the heart month, because I already said that March was my momentum month. So I really love how you say there should only be one heart month, so make this our heart month. And then it's not even really hard. We just haven't done it recently. I love that shift on thinking about that. And then I start, no matter how small our unit is, there is a Cadillac unit in there. And just when we first become directors, they talk about Cadillac off gate. And so I just really love that. So thanks for taking out the time to be here.
Thanks, Tish.
Taylor, thank you so much for your wisdom. And it was just such a good reminder that I think sometimes I want to avoid looking at reports. But when you said, look at what you can do, not stressing about what you can't. So just going and looking at that. And so I am going to force myself to look at reports today, see who's close to stars, see who's close to, we do a pre-pink 300 by the 15, things like that. And just do some reach outs and have some conversations that I maybe have been avoiding because I get a little stubborn. I'm like, I'll just do it all my dang self. And that's not the right attitude. So thank you.
Hold on a second. Holly taught me this a couple weeks ago. But extreme independence is a coping mechanism from trauma. It's what I do when I get feeling abandoned or feeling let down. And so I really want to challenge you to stay open and keep open-handed what God can do. Even if it's not the people you think, somebody could randomly text you. And so just like make sure that your eyes are open and work hard to kind of force your heart open because same, it's delayed my growth a lot because I chose to do it all myself. So I just want to like give you that and like stop you from doing that because it hurt me and I don't want it to hurt you.
Thank you.
Crystal, Lisa.
Don't turn. Can you hear me? Okay, there we go. Don't let a rut turn into a grave. That was my favorite. Like, just don't dig it anymore.
That was so good.
Thank you.
Okay, Lisa.
Taylor, thank you. First of all, you're so beautiful, and I just love listening to your sweet spirit shine through. But I took a lot of notes too. I love that you just broke it down into doable chunks and strategized so much that it seemed doable. Because when you believe it's doable, then you can do it. And how you strategize when your belief is high, so that when your belief is low, you can go back to the strategy and just follow the plan. Thank you so much.
So good. Taylor, please send me your address. You said so many nuggets that I have. You talked about, I love that you called it people and numbers. I've just always called it predict your production. But I love people and numbers. I think that's fun. Great reminder today. I love that you told somebody else's story the whole way and told how their story broke your belief. That was so beautiful of you. I think most of the time we think we have to tell our own story, but you reminded me to tell other people's stories and how they affected you because of their obedience. I just thought that was so, thank God she brought in people that raised you up. It was just so beautiful. You talked about the just breaking down those 4 qualified equals $1,600 of your commission check. That was like huge. That was so good. I mean, 4 qualified, that's good. I guarantee there's a Cadillac in your little unit. That was good. I think you just made it believable to everybody for somebody who is a make and misdirector at the beginning to doing 50,000 over Cadillac Plus. Like that was like mind blowing to me. I wasn't in the belief energy. You said that massive growth could happen, but she was, and that impacted me. And I thought that was so good. You said it can just be one person that makes the shift. And so I think we all want to be a sparkler and we all want to spark that for everybody, you know? So Taylor, just thank you for messaging me yesterday. I love that we have reconnected. I'm just so blessed by your friendship. I can't wait for you to be on a national trip with me, and we're going to be laying at a pool somewhere, having an umbrella drink, and we're going to laugh about the day that you drove 6 hours one way to come into a coaching session with me and turn around and drive all the way back to Ohio after 1 hour. We're going to laugh about that, but I hope and pray that it was a huge breakthrough for you, and I feel like it was. And I just want you to know how much I adore you and how excited I am to be your sister national. God's got really, really big things in store for you. You brought it today, and you brought an energy that I haven't felt or seen in their eyes in a long time. And you brought a big, believable energy of a growth mindset today and to my leaders. And I just want you to know how much I appreciate you for being on and being willing to just share from your guts today. So love you guys. I hope y'all have an awesome day. Taylor, I'll send you the recording. Post your address for me. Love you guys. Y'all have a great week. Bye.